This video is about section 3.4 web assignment. So the first several questions are about the function composition. Which one is the inside function and which one is the outside function? What is the derivative of the function composition? So let's see the first example, the first question. F of x equals to 4 multiplied by 7x squared plus 8 to the 5th power. So actually we can see that the blue part is the inside function. So inside function here is just h of x. So you can see here we have a common letter h. H of x is the inside function and the g of h is the outside function. So for the inside function, h of x is just 7x squared plus 8. And then the outside function notation is g of h is just no matter what's inside this part, no matter what it is, just multiply by 4. Take it to the 5th power, then multiply by 4. So if the inside part, this part is h, we call it h, then we have 4h to the 5th power. Then you can see here the next one. This is pretty similar. Okay, we haven't finished this one. So now we know what is the inside function, what is the outside function. The next question is about what is the derivative. So for this one, the derivative, we know this is, we can just use the first form of the chain rule. The derivative of the inside function multiplied by the derivative of the outside function. So for the inside function, and notice that f prime of x must be a function of x. That means we cannot have h there. So the derivative of the inside function, this is the inside function, derivative is just the 14x. And the derivative of the outside function is 4 multiplied by 5h to the 4th power. But because we know this is a function of x, we cannot have h there. So we have to plug in h equals to 7x squared plus 8. So it's just the 14x multiplied by, so you can see here, this is 20. Then plug in h, that is 7x squared plus 8. To the 4th power, because this is h to the 4th power. So this is the derivative. Then the next question is pretty similar to this one. The question number 2 is the same one. Number 4, we have the square root. So the square root, this one equals to 6x squared minus 9x to the 1/2 power. Square root of something equals to something to the 1/2 power. And then this question, this one, just remember the derivative of, for example, e to the pi x. We know the derivative e to the x, derivative is just the e to the x, it is itself. But what if now we have a coefficient pi? Then this derivative is e to the pi x multiplied by the derivative of pi x, the inside function, which is just the pi. So similar, here we have a e to the 0.4x. And the next one, 3 to the natural log of x power. For this one, we have to use b to the x. The derivative is just the b to the x multiplied by natural log of p. But since you can see here the power is not just a x, but actually it is a inside function. So we have to multiply by the derivative of the natural log of x. And for this one, write the rate of change formula for question number 7. It is also similar to the previous question. So we are given p of t, and just take the derivative of this function equation, then we will get p prime of x. And then the question B, how rapidly we know this one is talking about the derivative. So we are from question A, we know what is p prime of t. So just pay attention to the input variable is growing in 2000. So let's go back to check the question. So you can see here the t is actually the number of years since 1980. So here we have 2000. That means you have to use t equals to 20 instead of t equals to 2000, because this is the year after 1980. So just plug in t equals to 20 to this one. Then we get b. The last question, we are given a function equation s of x. Input is x, where x is x dollars, this one. So here we know x is from 0 to 2. And the first question, okay, so the unit for x, the input unit is just the dollars, but for this one we are given cents instead of dollars. So we know 25 cents is just $0.25. And the first questions, just how many gallons of paint are sold when it's $0.25. So just plug in s of $25, s of $0.25, then we're done. And the next one is about the derivative, how quickly. So that means when the same t value, when the same x value, when x equals to 0.25, what is the derivative? That means what is s prime of 0.25? In other words, or we can use the second form, that is just the ds dt. But here, since we are given the value of t, the value of x, so just plug it in. Because we know what is the s of x, right? This one. So we know how to get s prime of 0.25.